Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how's your life? I hope you all always doing good. I'm Diana, and today I will talk about HIV and AIDS, which some people still misunderstand about this. They think that HIV and AIDS is a disease called HIV/AIDS, but it's not. HIV or human immunodeficiency virus is a virus that attacks human immunity, while AIDS or acquired immunodeficiency syndrome is the peak of HIV infection where the human immune system has completely lost. Before we get into the material about HIV and AIDS, do you know where HIV comes from? HIV is originated from chimpanzees virus named SIV or simian immunodeficiency virus. Around the 18th century to the 19th century, there were hunters in Africa looking for chimpanzees for their meat, which they didn't know was infected with SIV. The hunters became infected with SIV, then it's called as HIV or human immunodeficiency virus. The spread of HIV occurs through human trafficking and immigrants who had free sex without contraception with HIV-infected people. In the 1970s, HIV began to enter America and then spread throughout the world via international flights in the 1980s. Then how can HIV become AIDS and what are the symptoms? So, there are 4 phases of HIV to AIDS. The first one is the window phase, about few years after infection. In this phase, HIV hasn't been detected through laboratory tests and the infected person hasn't experienced any symptoms. So, some sources don't include this phase as HIV phase to AIDS. The second one is the acute phase, where HIV has been detected through laboratory tests. And HIV-infected people in this stage can transmit HIV and will experience some symptoms like flu about 2 to 4 weeks after infection. The symptoms are swollen lymph nodes, night sweats, fever, fatigue, and etc. And then the third phase is the chronic or latent phase, which can occur up to 10 years after several months of infection. This phase is also called asymptomatic, so that people consider themselves to have recovered from HIV infection, even though in fact HIV is still active and growing. However, there are some people who experience symptoms like difficulty breathing, diarrhea, coughs, fatigue, and etc. And then the last phase is the AIDS phase, where the immune system is completely lost. In the AIDS phase, people will experience several symptoms such as high fever and night sweats, yeast infection in the mouth, throat, or vagina, rash or spots on the skin, and this, etc. Because the immune system is gone, the disease will be easier to attack the body. The disease is such as tuberculosis, candidiasis, cytomegalovirus, and etc. People who are infected with HIV must adopt a healthy life so that HIV doesn't develop, and take medicine so that they don't reach the AIDS phase. Without treatment, people who have reached the AIDS phase will only last about 3 years. Talking about treatment, there's no cure for HIV infection or AIDS, but there are treatments that can help HIV infected people to have life expectancy like other healthy people. By ARV. ARV or antiretroviral reduce the amount of HIV viral load in blood. The regimen for treating HIV and AIDS with ARV is INSTIS, NRT, CYP3A, PI, and N3 inhibitors. Some people still misunderstand about the HIV transmission, so they treat people infected with HIV badly like the thing or an object to be avoided. They shouldn't do that because HIV transmission occurs through contact with infected blood, semen, or vaginal fluids. As I said in the history of HIV, transmission occurs because of free sex without contraception. In addition, through blood contact such as blood donation or the blood of an infected person regarding open wounds. And using the same injection with HIV infected people. Pregnant or breastfeeding women also can transmit to their children. So that we should take care of health of ourselves and those around us. And the conclusion of my presentation is HIV and AIDS are different things where HIV is the virus causes AIDS. Apply the healthy habits from an early age and regularly check your health. Don't have free sex without contraception and don't take drugs, especially using the same injection with infected person. Perform appropriate treatment if you already infected. Better to prevent than to cure because health is expensive. I apologize if there's any misinformation, so just take the good and throw the bad. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.